Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. Today, I have with me an amazing author, a book that is on my reading list. I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's on my list, and I'm so excited to get to talk to him because now it's just going to give me that personal connection when I get to dig into this content. So I've got with me today Todd Duncan, and he is the world's #1 authority on sales mastery, equipping people with strategies around growth, relationships, performance, business, and life transformation. Gosh, guys, does this sound familiar at all? If you've been listening to our 100+ episodes, you know that this is what we talk about day in, day out, every week on the show. Todd is an author of 17 books and no stranger to the New York Times bestseller list. He helps people fall in love with their life by maximizing their efficiency, their compensation, and earning what they are truly worth and living life to the fullest. Welcome to the show, Todd.
Jennie, great to be here. Love the title of your brand and tribe. I love those two words, sales mastery. And I actually like the word badass. And so it's good to hang with you and can't wait to just kind of connect with your tribe and help them learn, grow, and get better.
Oh, I am so excited to dig in. So the book that I referred to as I was introducing you is called High Trust Selling, and it's been out for 20 years now at the recording of the podcast. This is now 2022. And so that's a really big freaking deal in the world of books. Yeah?
Yeah. Most don't last in a print run past maybe 2 years. And that's if they're good. This one is in its 20th year, and there's been, 17 print editions, and it's in 21 languages. And we just keep finding it appealing to people. They like the idea of making more money. They like the idea of doing that in less time, and they love the idea of doing that with less stress. And so when we talk about earning what you're really worth, in the world of selling, we de-emphasize the sale and we emphasize the relationship. And we believe that in any sales paradigm, that relationships will make you a fortune and transactions will make you a living. And so when I wrote the book, I wrote it with the idea that these laws that we discuss in the book, there's 14 of them. And I wrote the book with the idea that if I finished the book and died a minute after finishing it, all the laws would apply for the next 100 to 200 years. And here we are 20 years later, not one law has changed in its application. And 5 million people around the globe are using this methodology to win in business and life. So it's powerful.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to read this now. Like it's on my reading list on Amazon for me to go grab it. So Trust me, I might be digging in this weekend. So really excited to do that. So let's dig into some of those 14 laws, if you don't mind. What are some of the ones? Because of course the audience here, they're in direct sales, network marketing, MLM, any one of those 3 business models. And of course, anybody who's got a product to sell, doesn't matter the business model, this is going to work because we're selling to people. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so the 14 laws are written like it's in a perfect world, you'd want to understand law number 1, and then you would kind of end with law number 14. And the book's broken into segments of personal mastery, and then business mastery, and then influence mastery, and time mastery. And so all those things kind of come together. For me, I think in direct selling, where most people start is there's a lot of fear in building a direct selling business. There's a lot of call reluctance. There's a lot of kind of fear of failure. And there's just a lot of fear. And that's why it's such a powerful opportunity. And it's also why it's such a limiting opportunity with people that don't understand the power of these laws. And so one of my favorite laws is the law of the summit. It's actually the second law in the book. And it says that your direction is a result of your perception. And what we end up talking about in that single law is that success and failure are inextricably linked. They're together. They're bonded in super glue. You can't have one without the other. And we have people begin to understand that instead of being afraid of failing, get excited about failing, because doing it the wrong way should produce evidence of how to do it a better way. And so the wrong way becomes the right way as long as you're learning from it. And so we say, what's an easy way to understand that? Well, there's no such thing as fast if there's no such thing as slow. There's no such thing as hot if there's no such thing as cold, loud, soft. None of those things, they're all together, right? You can't have one without the other. Win, loss, failure, success. Failure, success. There's a relationship between them. And so we talk largely about reinterpreting fear. And a lot of people, read into fear as the common kind of acronym, false expectations appearing real. We project onto something that hasn't yet happened what's going to happen. And if that projection is negative, then the fear sinks in and we don't take action. In between that definition of fear and two more levels, we have the same word, FEAR, but now it's face everything and rise. When you face everything and rise, you conquer. And when you don't face everything and retreat, you lose. And so somewhere between kind of thinking something's going to go wrong to let me just do it, right? Mm-hmm. Then I break into the third element of fear, which is feeling excited and ready. And if somebody in direct selling who's new can go from being afraid of making calls to feeling excited and ready to make calls, the entire world changes for them. And that's, to me, one of the most profound laws. I have a 24-year-old son, and he's got an art business. And he says, he told me last night, he goes, I'm tired of making mistakes. And I go, dude, so am I. And I'm your dad. I'm 30 years older than you. I'm tired of making mistakes too. But every mistake I make, I learn from it. And the key is just don't keep repeating the same mistake. So we have to be in a learning modality. And boy, man, to create relationship and to create a business that thrives, you got to be okay with failure. And it's a beautiful thing if you can reframe it. So that's one of the laws that I really love.
Oh, yeah. Like I'm just sitting here like completely. So in so many ways, number one, feeling validated because I went through my own direct sales experience going through that process without having the guidance of your books. So guys, go get this because don't shorten your learning curve, guys. Don't go through what I did and have it take you as long as it took me to figure this stuff out. It took me a while to go from fear and into being excited about sales. Because guys, I'm telling you, I did not start out my direct sales career being excited about selling, about marketing, about business. I started out going, oh my God, what did I just get myself into? And to go through that process, I just love that it's broken down so simply and easily to see that transition of going through, because that's exactly what I experienced was each one of those stages, and to see that like said in words and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So as you're going through, so once somebody has gotten excited and ready to sell, what would be one of the next great laws that will help them begin to develop a high trust selling process?
So two come to mind. One is called the law of the ladder, and the law of the ladder says the business you achieve is directly related to the steps you conceive, which means if you want to build a business, you have to have a series of steps and goals that you want to pay very, very close attention to. And within that particular law is the idea of what is my goal? I mean, if I'm in direct selling and I want to transition from, a full-time employee in a different type of work environment to being my own boss and running a direct selling business, how many people do I need to talk to? How many people need to become business partners? How many people do I need to mentor and grow? And what does that begin to look like as I develop the business? And I say to people all the time, like, what if you just had 4 phone calls a day with people that were interested? And let's say you understand how to pitch the process, you understand how to hook them with an idea, And then you understand how to deepen the conversation through emotional connection. And maybe one out of those four say yes to a business opportunity. Well, if I did that and every day I just tried to have 4 conversations and one was serious about the business, I'd have 20 people in 1 month that would be in the business. And if I got really good, I'll tell you the other law that is involved here. But if I got really good, then maybe that 1 out of 4 could become 2 out of 4. And then if I got really, really good, maybe of those 4, 3 out of 4. So I could go from 20 new business partners to, 60 new business partners in 30 days if I'm good. But I got to know what my number is. And then what I got to understand is that the idea of making an impact on those people is profound, because it is the impact you make on those people that helps accelerate their business growth. And that's what, MLM, that's what direct selling is all about. Now, that other law I've been referring to is called the law of the dress rehearsal. And the law of the dress rehearsal says practicing your lines elevates the level of your performance. And so anybody in selling has to own their OS, their operating system. They have to own how they open a conversation. They have to own the questions that they ask to create emotional engagement. They have to understand that talking too much can actually dissuade somebody from becoming a business partner, but asking a few really powerful questions can cause people to be really interested. Like, I could ask somebody right now about your regular job, what don't you like and what would you like to see change? Or, somebody told me you might be interested in the business opportunity we have here at XYZ Direct Selling Company. Tell me why you're interested. And in the next 2 to 3 years, if I could help you win in this business, what would that look like to you? And so it's these ideas, and they kind of all come together. But the law of the dress rehearsal, Jenny, is huge, because one of my early mentors, Zig Ziglar, he passed away about 8 years ago. One of his great lines was, "Success is where preparation meets opportunity." And in direct selling, you should be prepared every minute of the day to engage in a conversation and about your direct selling business, no matter where you are, who you're with, whatever, without being salesy, and that's why it's so powerful to understand, before I read this, I did this. After I read this, I did that. And as a result of that, I got this. That's the mindset, right? And so you got to have a way to influence. You gotta not think that you're selling anything except an idea for personal freedom. And if you sell an idea for personal freedom, which is what everybody wants, that freedom is priceless. If I pitch it that way, then people are going to engage. And I can say to anybody, one of the reasons I love direct selling, one of the reasons why I'm building this business like crazy, is because I think freedom is priceless. And almost everybody that I've talked to about this business opportunity would like to be more free. They'd like more money, they'd like less stress, and they'd like more time for things that matter to them. If you're interested in any of those 3, I'd love to sit down with you and have a conversation about how this business model could help you achieve that. Are you interested? And so if you don't know what to say, you're going to fumble your words, and you're going to blah, 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 and you're going to take too long to say it. And you got to be clear and concise. But that whole quick thing right there is called a high impact opening. And if I don't have a high impact opening, I've lost people from the get-go. So I got to really think about that.
I love that idea of practice, because that's one of the ways that I was able to actually build my organization and build my team's level of success. Was my rule with everybody was, okay, we're going to go practice coffee conversations with people. We're going to go practice having a party. Are there people in your life who would be willing to get a few friends together to practice a party? And, I'd set the expectation of, let's pretend like they're not going to want to buy at the end, and we're okay with it. Because the practice is what's important. It gets you over that fear, that hump of what to say, what to do, how do I do this? What are the names of all the pieces or the products, and da 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 da. So, validation. That's why that worked. But just one more thing on that. And I want everybody to really understand this. There is no shortcut to greatness.
I mean, you have got to understand that you can't show up great. You have to practice your way to great. And so one of the things that we tell people is top producers practice more than they play. And here's the law. If you don't practice more than you play, when you play, you will look like you haven't practiced. And so it makes all the sense in the world for you if you are thinking long-term and you're thinking that I want to dominate. I mean, I coach direct selling executives that are making $500,000 a month. I mean, I know this business inside and out. And I got to tell you right now, if you're not game ready, you're not going to win. And when I say you're not going to win, you're not going to win at helping people win. It's not about you winning and them losing. It's about you winning because you're helping them win. But if you don't practice more than you play, then you're going to mess it up. And so let's just get that out of the way. Let's do the dress rehearsal. Before the curtains open up and before the lights come on and before the show starts, let's get ready. And if you get ready, then you play at a higher level. And when you play at a higher level, more people say yes, you grow the business faster. By the way, you have more confidence, less fear, and you have more joy and less frustration. And, you never ever hit these like negative pockets where, gosh, I mean, when I became a private pilot, one thing I could not do naturally was land the airplane. And obviously everybody knows that at some point you're going to have to land the airplane, right? And I got really frustrated one day because I had 6 landing attempts and they were all just ugly. I landed, but they were just ugly. And I went home feeling like my wife met me on the stairs at the bottom of our home where the garage is. And she said, "You look horrible." And I go, "What's that mean?" She goes, you kind of look like you saw Jesus. And I go, "Well, I probably did because I almost crashed twice a day landing the airplane." And she goes, "So what do you teach people?" And it's just like, all of a sudden she turns on me. "What do you teach people?" "Practice more than you play." "Well, good. Are you getting better at landing? That's all that matters." "Well, I don't know." "Well, keep doing it. Keep practicing." So 147 landing attempts later, I finally had it. And now I can land like a leaf on a windy day on a dirt road. It's just like soft but it like, all right, if I'm going to fly a plane, I better get pretty good at landing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
It's the same in business. It's exactly the same in business.
Absolutely. I mean, the number of conversations that I had in the beginning that were completely awful, like so product focused and I was talking way too much and not letting them let me know what they were into, what they wanted, all of that. I mean, let me tell you guys, I wish I could share those things. I wish I had video of me screwing it up because people are like, "Of course you can do that. You're Jennie. You've been doing this for blah, blah, blah." Right. I've been doing this for X number of years. I've been in business, the sales world for 12 years now. Of course, I'm pretty darn good at it because I have a crap ton of conversations. And well, the first ones really, 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 really sucked. They were not good. So yeah, please go practice them. And it's amazing to me too, when I had my team members go have those practice conversations and they'd come back and they go, "Oh my God, she said she was going to do the business," or "Oh my God, she bought something." Right. Because all the pressure was off.
It's like, whoa, what did I do right? Right. And here's the deal. Anything that is new is not going to be executed at a level of mastery when you first try it. And every one of us can continue to get better. And to your point about the product pitch, I want to make sure everybody understands, because this is the greatest gift you can have. And one of the downloads we have available for you is the High Trust Interview Guide. And the High Trust Interview is the holy grail of this book. It is the one thing that allows you to develop deep emotional connection without pitching an idea or selling a product. And I need you to understand that people make decisions emotionally when it comes to life, when it comes to happiness, when it comes to money, when it comes to all the things that are wrapped up in there. One of the appeals of anybody in the quote corporate world to a direct selling model is freedom. Financial freedom, which I mentioned earlier. So let's get really clear on what goes into an emotionally connected relationship. Because if we understand emotional connection deepens relationship and accelerates trust, that's what's necessary for people to say yes and then get engaged. And if we do too much pitching, our stats with about 300,000 salespeople interviewed are actually the longer you talk about an idea, the lower your sales conversion will be. The idea is to get somebody converted emotionally before you talk about the products and or the service. And then if I have them emotionally connected, I can show them how the resources can help them win. But too many people miss out on that, Jenny. And it's like, I got to get really good at having a dialogue. I really have to, as you said, I have to get really, really great. I have to achieve a level of mastery in a conversation.
So let's go deeper on that part right there. That and maybe role play a little bit for the badass crew listening right now on how to dig into that emotional piece in a conversation. So let's have you be the rep. You know, I'm your potential customer. What product would you like to represent, Todd? What are we talking here?
I'm not even going to talk about the product.
Nice.
I'm going to go, hey, Jenny, I'm so excited. I know that Devin asked us to get together real quick. I love working with Devin. She's got a superstar business here at blah, blah, blah. And she thought you might be interested in it. She said you're having some challenges with just kind of breaking free in life and whatnot. And I just want to reach out and ask you, like, where you are right now, what are the things that aren't working for you? And how might I be able to help you or coach you to fix those things? And that's the conversation right there. So what is not working right now? Or same conversation, Devin asked me to speak to you. She said you're very interested in kind of a new landscape for your professional endeavors. And one of the questions I have for you is, in the next 2 to 3 years, where would you like to be professionally? Why are you interested in us? And how could I help you navigate a plan for that? Or I could start off just super simply, help me understand, Jenny, what's important about being successful to you? What do you look for? What do you want? And whatever that conversation leads to. Or I could say, are you aware that in contrast to a corporate job, you can make in a month what you normally take a year to make? And most people respond very positively to that. Does that resonate? Just things like that. They're little, we have this law called the law of the hook. And the law of the hook is a captivated audience stays to the end. I need to captivate you. What are you afraid of? How can I help? What's wrong right now? How can I help? Where do you want to be next year? How can I help? Are you aware that just by shifting your labor, you can do 10 times the income here as you're making here? Help me understand why you want to do this and what's important about it to you and your family. Those are all they're all hooks. But instead, if we go, I want to tell you about something. This company is so amazing. They have 203 products that can actually change your life forever. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And that's where everybody starts, is the product, the thing.
And that's what creates tension. So there's trust and tension fight all the time for space. And I cannot tell you about the products and resources until trust is at the highest this way, personally. Once it's there, then the products is secondary. It's not even like, you can do show and tells, you can do parties, you can do all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we're going to build the business, we need to be emotionally connected to the people that are on the team and the people we're trying to recruit to the team.
Right. Oh, that is so powerful. So what you just referred to is the download, the high trust interview.
Right.
So the link for that, guys, if you're wondering, is in the show notes. If this is your first time ever listening to the show, what I'm going to do really quickly, grab your phone, as long as you're not driving, click on the episode, scroll up just a little bit, and you will see there the show notes. Click on the link, High Trust Interview, and it will take you right to that download where you guys can take a look at that, print it out, start using it right now in your business, in your life. And I promise you this works, because this is how I built my business over years, screwing it up first and learning enough about people, learning enough about relationship to start building the trust to where people now, I don't sell. I market, I build relationships, I market, I build relationships. That's all I do. for me, the sale, for me is the physical transaction of when they say, I want what you have. How do I get it?
It's a byproduct. It's a byproduct of trust and connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A byproduct of trust and connection will get people to buy product.
Right. And don't sell anything. Just help. Help people.
Exactly.
Just help people. You know, I'm not talking about a not-for-profit mentality. I'm just saying you help people win. You don't have to worry about winning yourself. It's the outcome of helping others. And, you know, you spend enough time helping others, you never have to worry about where they're going to take you. It's just that simple.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't remember who said it, but your network is your net worth, the relationships that you build. Because even if they don't join your business, even if they don't buy your product, if they trust you, like you, know you, they're going to refer people to you. They're going to provide other resources for it, right? I mean, it's not just about the business and the product. It's what else do they maybe have that you two can do to help each other win?
And there's so much value in direct selling to understanding loyalty. Loyalty is a two-way street. And if you want your team to be productive, you got to demonstrate your loyalty and productivity to them by coaching them and leading them. And why your podcast is so valuable is having them understand how to be better and how to be stronger and how to be healthier and wealthier and all of that. And the one thing that I would say to everybody is your network is your net worth. You have to nurture that network. And nurturing is adding value. One of the laws in the book is called the law of incubation. And the law of incubation says that the most profitable relationships mature over time. I've got one guy I met in 2000, and I contact him every single year on his birthday. And he's blown away that I remember. I've got close to 5,000 birthday videos I do a year right now. And I do them 5 a day or 10 a day or whatever the number is. And I've made $32 million from one person. And all I've done is added value by wishing him a happy birthday. And then we get together and we talk about what's the next business move we want to make. And loyalty is beautiful because if you do loyalty the right way, you never have to worry about business. But man, if you have turnover and you bring people in that don't work out, you got to acquire people. That's part of direct selling. But you also have to make sure that their experience is beautiful, because if it's not, then you got to acquire more people. Mm-hmm. And if their experience is beautiful, then you need to nurture that relationship, because they're going to go out and find more people, which is the whole direct selling model. Mm-hmm. So you got to understand this. You know, one person it's not even really about 10. It could be, if you have one person that runs a company of 2,000 people, I mean, there's a whole big opportunity for anything there. And so it is a people business, right? And people know the people that you need to know. And there's so much more power in referral marketing than there is, automation marketing or newsletter marketing or any of that stuff. So
yeah. I love this.
It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
I get so excited.
I was going to say, yeah, I could go on this conversation with you, I feel like, for like 12 hours, and then we'd have to make it a 12-part a 12-part episode. But this has been fabulous, because we were able to hit, it sounds like 5, maybe 6 of the 14 laws. And, frankly, we don't want to give away all the milk, the cow, as they so say in that wonderful little phrase there. So 2 things for the Badass Crew. First off, go run and grab that high trust interview and start doing them. And then make sure you grab the book, High Trust Selling by Todd Duncan, our guest right now, and read that book. I'm now thinking I might have to turn this into a book club thing with my clients, because I've been trying to teach all these disparate things to them, and you've got it in one wonderful tool. I love it. Oh my gosh. Book clubbing around this one would be life-changing for people, and I'm excited for that. So thank you so much for giving your time, because that's something that is incredibly valuable. So thank you for being here. I so appreciate you, Todd.
Yeah, Jenny, thank you for having me. I wake up every day and one question I ask is who's next? And I think because of what we did together, there's going to be a lot of who's next. And believe me when I tell you that this will change your life. I'm not saying it because I need you to buy the book. I want you to invest in your life and I want you to fall in love with your life. And there's no better way to do it than to have a business modality that gives you balance in business so you can have balance in life. And the two things come together, right? Let's have fun doing business because we definitely want to have fun doing life. And we get a lot of curveballs. And if you know what you're doing, those curveballs don't phase you as much. And if you don't know, they can crush you. So hopefully the message resonates with everybody. I'd love to be on your show again. Thanks for hosting and thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I will 100% bring you back because I'm sure out of the other 17 books, there's got to be more that we will definitely connect over and would be valuable for our badass crew here. So thank you so very much.
Cheers.
All right, everybody, you guys, my badass crew, you know how this goes. Stay tuned because there is another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.